and say to all of you absolutely wonderful folks, welcome to the Punchdown. It is the 7th of April somehow in the glorious and mostly good year of 2021. And a huge Punchdown welcome to my good friend, Phil Carpenter from, he is the membership director and the director of membership there at the Santa Barbara County Vintners. But today he is here as just a regular old individual with 20 plus years of experience coming up to wine country. He knows all of the winemakers literally in Santa Barbara County. I used to 15 years ago, and I used to go around a little bit more than I do. I do want to make a disclaimer that we are going to be giving specific suggestions of our favorite wineries, winemakers, restaurants, places to go, places to visit. These are individual recommendations and do not represent either the Vintners Association or the Miller Family Wine Club or the Miller Family Wine organization. So with that said, I will jump in and say thanks again also to the Miller family for keeping the lights on and for also paying my mortgage, as well as putting together a really cool wine club called the Punchdown Wine Club. Check it out at punchdownwineclub.com. It's I always give 15 seconds of strictly commercial, as Frank Zappa would say. So if you are looking for 3 bottles of wine delivered to your front door for $39.95, gold medal wines, 90 plus scoring wines, wonderful wines, do look up the Punchdown Wine Club. They do pay our bills and allow us to do these wonderful educational programs every Wednesday. I will say for the first time, I'm going to miss a Wednesday next week because I am vaccinated and I am going to Walnut Creek, Sacramento, and Chico to sell wine for the first time in almost 400 days. I will be in the market, and to celebrate, I'll probably get a haircut, and tonight I actually wore a coat. So I'm ready. We got a nice full house. Thanks for everyone who's in the house. Stan and Lawrence have come in, as well as John Fitzpatrick. Good to see you, John. One of my favorite photographers here locally, and also taught me how to get really close, but safely close to one of the places I'm going to talk about today, which is the Elephant Seals right next to Hearst Castle. So super exciting. Let's get right into it. I want to make sure that we get back to a local focus. We've been talking about the world of wine, the history of wine, and now it's time to really focus in and celebrate all the things that are Santa Barbara County wine. First thing, we are drinking a 2016 J Wilkes Pinot Blanc, and it's from 48-year-old own-rooted vines at the Bienvenido Vineyard. We are just finishing selling this wine. We actually are sold out of the 17, almost sold out of the 18, but we saved some of the 16 for the wine club. So I was able to get a couple bottles for us. And I think we were talking about this a little earlier, that the wine was a little surprising for an aromatic white. What do you think of the wine, Phil?
It's unreal, man. Now, I was equating it to vintage, but you told me a really cool story about how aromatic wines, when they're made, they kind of get a maturation quality out of it. It's just that it's got that beautiful Santa Maria thing going on, man. That a little bit of like salinity, savoriness, chalkiness. I got a little bit at the end there, like the dusty, like if you flip chalk up in like that kind of in the back there at the end. But it's almost got a little bit of a mushroomy thing too. It's really cool.
I get a lot of like wax and quince.
Yeah.
Like it reminds me almost more of a Roussanne or a Marsanne. And we were talking about how aromatic whites have to earn their mid palate. That these wines, when they're first released, and what a bummer it is that when if I tried to bring a 16 Pinot Blanc into the market, people be like, well, what's wrong with this wine? There's why isn't it sold out, right? I mean, I think we made 5,000 cases of it. But that being said, 5 years from vintage date, this wine is twice as good as it was when we first released it. And I'd say if I paid less than $100 at a restaurant and I got a wine of this quality, I'd be stoked. And it's like $20 wine. We're not, I think you can find it on the J Wilkes website, but it has picked up that beeswax, almost roan white character. And as we mentioned, when you press Pinot Blanc, Pinot Grigio, when you press Grenache Blanc, Roussanne, Marsanne, Viognier, it shears the skin. It's like a slip skin variety. And what happens is it macerates the wine to make it taste like you actually made like a 6 or 12 hour skin contact orange wine. So is it orange wine? No. But does it have orange wine character? Yes. And I think that richness and that mid palate and that waxiness has really made this wine something very special. I think the way this wine is drinking right now, there's not a lot of wines I've tasted that are retail for under $20 that can lead there. And I knew it was going to be good. I didn't quite know it was going to be this good. So thanks for the comments. I'm a big fan of Pinot Blanc, and it could almost be a desert island wine because how delicious with seafood. You can have it with pork. You can do it with a steak au poivre. It would be beautiful. And if you show something completely un-American, yes, patience. If you show some patience with a Bien Nacido Pinot Blanc or a Pinot Blanc from the Santa Maria Valley like this one, I think you're going to be likely to be impressed. All right, so enough with those wines. We've talked about it. Now we're going to drink it. Keep our whistle wetted. And I've got the first question for you. So you've had a very memorable, an epic journey from law enforcement to a whole nother life in the UK, and then to our glee and delight, you have landed back where you belong in Santa Barbara wine country. Take a few minutes to tell us about your journey from Southern California to England and back to California. What originally made you love Santa Barbara County wine, and what brought you back?
So yeah, I apologize to the people who've heard this before, but anyways, discovered wine shortly after I got married to my beautiful wife, Rachel. Her parents took us up to Napa and Sonoma. And before that, strictly a vodka tonic drinker, macro beer, pretty happy just living in the matrix. And then tasted there. They had connections through a friend, so we tasted with the winemaker. And it was with Eric Bradley, who's the winemaker at Sojourn. It was a Delta back then when I tasted, and it just blew my mind. So living in San Diego, right there on the border, getting up to Napa and Sonoma was kind of a trip anyways. We were a young couple. We weren't making a ton of money. And so every time we went up there, I was dying to go in the barrel rooms and meet the winemakers and, really get to know what wine was all about. And there was just no way I could do it. I mean, I wasn't a barrel level club member or anything. So it was Rachel who said one time, why don't we try Santa Barbara? It's not too far away. And in my mind back then, I was like, well, do they have buttery Chardonnays and Cabernet there? Because I mean, that's what I grown up on or learned about. And just so happened there was like a wine enthusiast or a wine spectator there on the table, and I started reading it, and they had done something on Greg Brewer with Brewer Clifton and Diatom. So I blindly emailed him, and the friend that helped us out in Napa and Sonoma, I said, we're going to Santa Barbara, and he goes, oh, you need to talk to these two guys. And he threw two business cards at me, and one was Larry Safer at Tercero, and the other one was Wes Hagen. So I emailed you two as well and headed up on our first trip. And the moment I pulled off through the tunnel and off the one, I was in love, and I had a feeling I was never going to go back. Worked in law enforcement, like you said, tough job. It was crazy, everything they say. And my wife just kept on getting promotions in publishing, and they said, okay, they've called me to the big leagues. We got to go to Europe if I keep on going down this path. And I said, well, I always said I'll support you no matter what, so let's go. And we sold the house, packed up, moved to Oxford in the UK, lived there, and a little bit of a shock with the weather, growing up in Southern California my whole life, but I did love it. Unbelievable. Vegas trip to Burgundy, 1.5-hour flight to Bordeaux, Spain, everything was right there. So that was great. But all I remember was tasting all those wines and going, God, San Rita Hills Pinot tastes like this, or it's got this, or, Happy Canyon's pulling this off when we were in Bordeaux. So it just really assured me that this area was doing world-class level wines. And I mean, I did everything I could to keep in touch with you guys. I would bring back as many bottles I could to pour for people in London at wine tastings and freak people out. They loved it. Brought them to my WSET classes and got level 3 there. And then Allison Laslett, the new CEO of Santa Barbara Vintners, emailed me and she said, I keep hearing your name, but you live in England. I don't know if you want to come back. And I said, oh my God, this is it. We knew we weren't going to go back to San Diego. We had no interest in moving back there. And I always say that it was the sneakiest move I ever did, was by us going to the UK. I knew we would come back here and settled here. I love this side of the valley. I live in Lompoc in Vandenberg Village, so I'm at the doorway to the Santa Rita Hills. The weather's beautiful here, still in the valley, 20 minutes from everybody. I still have to pinch myself. It's really surreal that it all worked out this way. I can't believe I'm here.
You said something that stopped me in my tracks, and that is, I was in Bordeaux and thinking, well, Happy Canyon does this. You were in Burgundy thinking Santa Rita, not that they do this, but that is ass backwards, my friend. You're supposed to go to Burgundy first and then go to the Santa Rita Hills and say, well, this is a paltry example compared to Burgundy. You're supposed to go to Bordeaux and say, Happy Canyon can't do this. And another thing that I thought was very interesting, and you can comment on either of these comments, that you would bring Santa Barbara wines to these Euro palates who were raised on claret and Burgundy and blow some minds. Do you agree with me that the European palate seems far more ready to accept Santa Barbara County as a premier wine growing region than most Americans or Californians?
Okay, this is where my bias is going to come out.
Great, that's why we're here.
My fanboy, and absolutely. I think our area more than anywhere else. Why do you think a Euro palate is more attuned to the Santa Barbara palate or the Santa Barbara flavor profile? It's our acid, bud.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the liveliness.
We use the word acid, though. We say cut.
Correct.
Don't use acid in the market unless you're at a Grateful Dead show.
Right. But it's just the liveliness, the freshness, that uplift. I mean, when I tasted in Burgundy, they would do red first, then white. And I would ask winemakers why, and they all had kind of like their own thing, but always what they like to say is that they like to leave their folks on an uplift. Yeah. And I think we could do that here. I mean, just the line that runs through this area, the cool climate, the way that it just presents itself. I think we're 1A next to those regions. And I'm sorry, that's probably why I'm working here. But I mean, that's how I always say I'm not a very confident guy, but I'm confident about this. And one thing I'm confident about is that the wines can pull that off, no problem.
I'd always do Pinot Noir first at Clos Pepe, and then we do barrel fermented Chardonnay and finish with homage to Chablis. And people would always ask why, and I say, well, in degustations in Bourgogne and Burgundy, I sound the same. And the reason I always heard was it's respectful to your next tasting to go with your teeth clean and your palate fresh. And I think it's all BS. I think it's just cleans the glasses.
That could be true too. But I did love it. I thought it was great.
So I have to ask you, what was the first meal and the first wine you had or that you sought out? And if it's an In-N-Out burger, so be it. But what was the first food and the first wine you got when you came back from the UK to Santa Barbara? What was just calling your name when you landed?
Okay. So the very first thing, got off the plane, my cousin was nice enough to come pick me up at LAX and get everything in the car, and we drove to Neptune's Net. Just drove the coast and got some beer there and just sat there, and it was just unreal, because it's like you're thinking, okay, I got to go pack up in a couple of weeks and I'll be back on a plane. It's like, no, dude, this is it. You're here.
Tell me you didn't have fish and chips though.
No, God, no. We'll talk about that later. But so yeah, and then so it was just a deluge of Mexican food from then on out. And then when I got to Santa Barbara, I'm sure you know him, Jim Salvito. He might be watching. He was like, dude, you're staying with me till you get on your feet. And I pulled up to the house, and it wasn't just one wine, man. It was just like a table full of, every AVA, every wine you can think of, Santa Rita Hills, all the good stuff, and we went through that. And then he had IPAs there too, but it was just kind of like, and then he was barbecuing like he had sous vide like tri-tip and then made it like Santa Maria. And it was just, so that's what it was.
Yeah. Jim's just
oh
a great
God.
guy. Let's go backwards. So
Okay.
if you went back to the UK, just say you flew into London, what's the first meal and what's the first beer that you would go after that you miss?
If I'm going to London, I'd be running to a Brewdog pub and drinking a whole bunch of Brewdog IPAs and sours and stuff, and then just getting pub food, whatever they have there. It doesn't matter. If I could go to one place anywhere, we've made some lifelong friends over there. And one of the couples, Sarah and Rob Tudgy, they're the ones I used to help run their Unreal coffee place, because they didn't have Santa Barbara Wines, so I got into coffee when I was over there. They have a really beautiful place up in the Lake District called the Smith. I'd go up there and then I would just drink as much Cloudwater, Daya, Northern Monk, or Beavertown beers as I can. I mean, it's the brewing, the beers up there is unreal. And then now their wines are getting so good, man. I mean, the sparkling wine is just to die for now. It has been, but it's gotten even better.
The sparkling winemaker of the year about 4 years ago was a guy named Liam Idikowski, British-born, obviously, some Polish blood. He was my intern at Clopepi, and he was sorry, I'm going to get someone in trouble, but he was on the Lamb from the UK. He took £5,000 as a college scholarship and went and bought a steeple jumping horse and started jockeying until the government started coming after him, wondering why he wasn't in union, and he had to flee the country. He went to work for William Selliam. William Selliam fired him when they found him taking a jacuzzi in a fermenter filled with hot water with the oxygen bubbler going, and called me and told me this. He's like, listen, I'll be honest, I'm not here legally. I'm a hard worker. I want to make wine. I just got fired, by Bob Cabral at William Selliam. I'm like, why did Bob fire you? It's like taking a jacuzzi, between Punchdowns in the winery at like 2 a.m. I'm like, dude, you're my peeps. Get down here, And we couldn't pay him, so we basically kept his fridge full of beer. We bought him 2 handles of gin a week. Boy could drink, and had one of that was 2007, and then boom, he becomes a well-known sparkling wine producer. Good guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I'll look him up. But yeah, Gus Bourne. There's a little producer called Herbert Hall that so my dad was born in England, so that was one of the reasons that we went there, so we can connect with half of my family that was still there, and they lived in Kent, which was just perfect. So we would go over there and have holidays, and I'd always stop in and check in at the couple sparkling houses and hang out there. I will say, so yeah, fish and chips. I mean, cool. I mean, I'll pound some fish and chips, but I still miss the Indian food and the Thai food and the late night kebabs coming off a London train at like 1 a.m, and there'd be a kebab cart right there on the train station, right in Oxford. Pound that on the way home to our village in Whitney. Yeah. So, but the Indian food was unreal. Oh my God.
But eight Thai restaurants aren't good enough for you in Lompoc?
I found one now that's really damn good. Yeah. So
it's not Herbom or Souvons. Is it something new?
Souvons is great too. Yeah. Thai cuisine is the one that we've kind of been going to.
Thai cuisine is good stuff. It's the best sweet and sour chicken I've ever had in my life. Next time you go, get the Suchi halibut.
Okay.
I got turned on to it by Chris Curran and Bruno.
Oh, rocking. It's like every other week now we go there. I mean, it's great little family, and like you order over $10 and they deliver it for you. That's like
no
problem.
It's absolutely my go-to Thai place. I started going to Suvan's a little because I liked the yellow and red curry there. And
totally.
Herb Home, I thought had the best. My wife, back when she ate meat, only ate incredibly lean cuts, and she found Herb Home was the prettiest food, the cleanest kitchen, brand new. So much good Thai food in Lompoc. I understand that the Hmong population in Lompoc is the highest in the Central Coast. All right, so let's keep talking about food in Santa Barbara County wine country. What do you think fine dining in Santa Barbara? Let's start maybe in Santa Barbara proper or in the Valley. If someone said, take my credit card, go get the best meal in Santa Barbara County, where would you end up?
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, I think you and I talked about it where we mentioned it. Busan is just like, another level. Wine Cask, I mean, Lark, Sherry Villanueva just was on one of our virtual events and just unreal, unbelievable. It just gets it, So that's something that, I mean, in the Valley, we can talk about, I think we talk about this later on, but I mean, SY Kitchen, Gathering Table, yeah.
I would definitely add Ballard Inn, which I think Booty Kazali is the finest chef in the North County. And
that's what I mean by the Gathering Table. I mean, yeah.
Of course. Ballard, the Gathering Table at the Ballard Inn. Maybe the best scallops and the best pork belly. First time I ever tasted pork belly was off of Booty. Also, one thing that people don't know about Chef Kazali, Booty Kazali, he makes the best. And I've drank a lot of these because I've traveled a lot. And I've found that if you have a Bloody Mary before you get on an airplane, I've never had a Bloody Mary and crashed in an airplane. So I believe in sympathetic magic, the most
You're a baseball guy.
types of human spirituality, and I'll continue to drink it. But I played at La Purismo one day playing golf, and Booty shows up with a huge thermos and starts pouring us all of these. And I'm like, this is the most delicious thing I've ever tasted. I mean, can you give me the recipe? He's like, no, but there's 17 ingredients. That's all I'll tell you. 17 ingredients.
Oh my God, dude.
Good and spicy. And I was not worrying about putts while I was standing over them.
No, hell no.
What do you think? Everyone loves La Superica in Santa Barbara. So I put that one up there because it's Julia Child's favorite restaurant.
Right.
I did get to meet Julia Child about 3 weeks before she passed at the Santa Barbara Farmers Market.
God.
And I remember telling her, thank you for turning me on to two things. One, fine dining. Without you, we wouldn't be doing what we did, because my mom watching Julia Child and everyone's mom watching Julia Child changed the frickin' world and gave us fine dining, with Beard and everybody else. It's amazing. But Superica, famous Mexican shack, in Santa Barbara. Where else do you go in the county or in Santa Barbara for Mexican food?
Okay, so small disclosure here. I've been helping Drake Whitcraft bottle a lot recently, and if you bottle with Drake, he always brings in unbelievable food, and then starts opening his own stuff, and it's unreal. So if Drake ever reaches out to ask you to bottle, take it seriously, and then you're gonna have an unbelievable lunch. And so I was like, he would bring Mexican food in, like, dude, this is unreal, but I never caught the name, it's just kind of like, who am I? And it's like, all right, we got to go back to bottling. I'll ask him later. So I text him today. I'm like, all right, dude, what are the names of the Mexican food places you go? So Lily's for street tacos.
Oh, Lily's is amazing. Now, all of these are within 3 blocks of Superica. It's like on Milpas, sort of between Coda and like 5 blocks down. It's like I could live down there and eat with a lot of influence.
Oh, dude. So, and then like El Bajío, Taqueria Rincon El Teño. They have a crispy El Pastor, which is crispy taco El Pastor, which is amazing. And then Taco Pipis. So
I've not done Pipi. I've done all the other ones. And how do you spell Pipi?
Yeah. It is Pipeyes.
Wow. It's a lot of that's a lot of silent letters.
I know. Totally.
So I'll add to that. I'll add to that in the Santa Barbara public market. I sure hope Cochina Corazon is still open.
Yeah.
We have the best mole I've had outside of all places. Basically Gonzales, California, at Taqueria Linda, which I never fail to stop at up in Monterey County. And I would also probably go ahead and add Floriano's in Lompoc.
I was going to say, if we're going outside of the valley, it's Floriano's and Palmar. I mean, in Lompoc.
Palmar in
oh my God.
Lompoc. which is
Yeah.
which is done the only Mexican restaurant I know of that's done winemaker dinners with Brewer Clifton.
Rad, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, and it was the first place I ever went where I spent like $25 on myself with Mexican food, and it was all like crab enchiladas and stuff. So I didn't really feel, $18 for crab enchiladas, rice and beans.
Oh my God.
I put one bite in my mouth and I just stopped, literally got out of my thing, went into the kitchen and was like, what the hell, guys? Why have I not lived here? Why have,
Right.
and I also really like old school since 1994, Taco Roco, which used to be Taco Loco,
Yeah.
which has restaurants all over. They're number 18, their fried shrimp tacos, which are almost like tempura style. Number 18 at Taco Roco, ladies and gentlemen. After a long day of drinking beer, get that, of drinking wine, a Negro Modelo, and a number 18 at Taco Roco, you will not go wrong.
Well, I mean, after 5 years of living in the UK, and the closest you come to Mexican is a Chipotle ripoff. I'm really happy to have anything. But I mean, if we're going to talk like primo, then yeah.
No, I skipped around a little bit.
That's fine.
As far as super casual dining in Santa Barbara, if you're staying in Santa Barbara and you want to maybe spend $20 or less.
Yeah. In Santa Barbara?
Yeah, I listed.
Or just in the county?
I listed Figueroa Mountain for pub food. They also have an amazing Bavarian pretzel with beer cheese, and I listed Finney's because I really like their Nashville chicken sliders.
Right.
And they have a pretty good beer stuff.
Totally. So my kids are like freaks for hamburgers. So we'll go to. It's an absolute treat, and it's the best, and it's pretty dang affordable, but the lunch at Hitching Post is unreal. I mean, portions are great, and the food, it's just, and then you can get the wine there. So that's one of my favorites. And then we make plenty too. I mean, there's some stuff we can get at Plenty for the kids as well in Los Alamos. So yeah, those are the kind of the places we go to if we can.
And then up here in Santa Maria, I'll add Far Western Tavern, which does great steak sandwich for lunch and amazing pork chop for dinner, as well as other incredible stuff. And also Chef Rick Manson, who was actually one of the first celebrity chefs. He had his own TV show.
Totally, man.
Super cool guy. And I mean, I don't go to I'm now the California market manager for Miller Family Wine Company. So I'm not going to be traveling as much, which means I'm not going to be doing New Orleans twice a year. We used to go right after Mardi Gras to fill cellars back up and just, eat gumbo, at Herb Saint, which is probably the greatest gumbo I've ever tasted. The etouffee and everything else.
Oh,
I can get it almost all of it at Chef Rick. So if you've got a sort of a Cajun, a little Cajun in you, if you're feeling cagey, I would definitely throw that one out there. We were talking a little bit about casual dining in Santa Maria, and we both came up with the Garden independently.
Right.
The best kebab I've ever had. Prime, it's probably choice filet mignon, and then they have the chicken, which is absolutely delicious. A garlic sauce that'll keep your breath humming for like 3 days. If you're in Santa Maria Valley and tasting some wine here locally, do not miss the Garden. Even their vegetables are absolutely delicious. So
I'm all about that. Yeah.
And then there's another. I don't know if you've eaten Chinese in Santa Maria at North China.
Okay. I'm
Best
putting
lunch special.
That to the list.
Like $10 lunch specials. They really care. And I don't know where they're from, but all the waitresses are like 6 feet tall and ethnic Chinese. So there must be wherever Yao Ming was from is probably where they're from. But my wife is 6 feet tall, and a lot of the waitresses can like own her in the paint. Like, get that weak stuff out of here. So that's another huge suggestion from me. Let's talk about getting something to drink.
Okay.
I know you're amazing at supporting and elevating every single member at the Vintners, but if you're asked by a friend with a similar palate to yours, where are the 3 or 4 tasting rooms in Santa Barbara County? You're just going to funnel people in because you absolutely know the wine's going to kick ass, Hospitality is going to be great. The service is going to be fantastic. Where do you start? Where do you start thinking as far as sending some folks?
Okay.
I know
so
you send
this-
folks everywhere. So
Yeah, I know, I do. And this is the thing. I don't just put out a cookie cutter list. I always go, okay, well, what do you like? Well, what kind of wines do you like?
this is you.
You know,
This
I
is
know.
Your
I know.
power.
Well, you know me, man. I mean, it all starts and ends in this side of the valley in Lompoc for me. I love this side of the valley. Before he passed away, I got really close to Steve Arrowwood. So I would go see Steve all the time. Because I was out here on my own for a few months while my wife and the girls were finishing up, my daughter was finishing up school. So I would get lonely and I'd go over and talk to Steve and we'd just mess around and drink stuff and hang out. Beautiful place back there. I mean, nobody's got a tasting room quite like Montemar over in the ghetto. I send people there because it's just fun. And then place that you kind of cut your teeth at, Babcock's great. Everything
I think
is so wide
it's
open.
I think Bob Babcock might be a little underappreciated because, you know, Brian is so dedicated to his craft. You kind of have to go visit him. He's kind of like grandma. He's like always home. He's not gonna come to your hometown. You got to visit him like grandma because grandma's not coming.
Right.
Consummate professional.
Oh, totally. And I mean, we loved him back in the day because his tasting room was the first one to open. He was always open a half hour before everybody else. It was like 10:30 and everybody was 11. So we'd go check out Babcock because I, you know, like I said, worked in law enforcement, used to waking up early, getting on the road, going, get up here, and it'd be like 9 by the time we got here. It'd be a nut. And it was like, all right, who's open first? Let's go to Babcock. Let's go check it out. And then do the easy next door stop at Melville. I mean, Melville is just, you know, industry
They were my
standard.
neighbors forever, but I honestly think their appellated wines were probably some of the best value. I mean, for like a $12 to $15 glass pour, Chardonnays and Pinots, and I've been really really pleased with the wines that have been coming out of there since Greg Brewer left as well. I just wanted to point out I did take down my thing so I could show you the steal your face for Steve. Steve Arrowwood and me from both grew up in Palos Verdes. My dad was his vice principal at Palos Verdes High School.
No way.
So when we were bottling, Steve showed up and just, you know, Steve just got out and started dumping boxes and looked and said, "Do I know you?" And my dad said, "Don Hagen. I'm Wes's dad." He's like, "Don Hagen? Are you telling me you're Don Hagen from Palos Verdes High School?" He's like, "Yep." And wow, so there was that cool connection as well.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, yeah, all the wines are amazing, and I just like, I get really giddy when people say they like really lively wines. So I like to take that feedback and just let them run free in our area here. So.
How about one in Los Olivos and one on the east side that is not within Los Olivos?
Not within Los Olivos.
One that's in and one that's out.
Okay. Like in the city, you mean?
Yeah,
like in the yeah.
A municipal Los Olivos tasting room, and then one that's out on a vineyard.
I always like to go over and mess with Larry. That's fun at Tercero.
And we're going to have Larry on. Larry's going to join us for I'm going to do a Santa Barbara winemaker panel, and we'll hear what Larry has to say.
Yeah, I think I mentioned one of the in my early formations of Santa Barbara was listening to you and him talk Grenache at Family Winemakers in Del Mar when I was just a baby in the wine game, and just like keeping my mouth shut and my eyes and ears open listening to you guys. That was great. And then Dragonette, unreal over there too. I mean, Grimm's is right there now. Stoltman's across the street. The so fresh stuff, that garage that they're doing is so great. Samsara. I mean, that east side and Enjoy Fantastic and Story of Soil. They're all in that side of town. It's crazy. And then you could walk the Brewer Clifton. So, I mean, but yeah, I always go over and I end up trying to just like say hi to Larry, but then I end up talking to him for a long time because he's like a brother. And then I love Buttonwood.
Yeah,
I absolutely love Buttonwood.
It is a very important property to the history of Santa Barbara. I think Karen is a incredibly wonderful and very vocal proponent for our wines, and she doesn't put up with any guff, and that's why I've always enjoyed her. And I do miss her husband Dave, who used to run the warehouse where Club Pepe kept their wine. I'll throw in Beckman, because I think it's a beautiful picnic area. As far as other places, I think that gives us a pretty good idea of where to head out. I'm going to go Presqu'île for the environment.
For Santa Maria. Okay.
It is like an Alan Ducasse steel and glass, gorgeous. There's not another tasting room in Santa Barbara like Presqu'île. Go up there, check it out. I mean, it even has like Tesla superchargers. In fact, I have friends with a Tesla that just used to drive there to just charge up and go buy some wine just for fun.
I've been known to just go drive up the 101, hit Betaravia, and just go the back way. I love going. I'll do that on a Sunday. Just like I want to get out of the house. One of my daughters will just tag along, and we'll go drive up to Cambria. And I've been known to kind of sneak around Byron, take some pictures when nobody's there. So yeah.
I'll throw in Ken Brown and Buellton. I think there's between the next two and in Lompoc, let's not forget Rick Longoria. Let's just go ahead and say between Ken Brown and Rick Longoria, they know more about Santa Barbara County wine than any other two people in the history and the future and the past of you could argue Ken Brown is the David Lett to Oregon. Ken Brown is to Santa Barbara. He really brought Pinot Noir to the forefront, and also made I think it was in 1989 Byron Pinot Noir that was the first Pinot Noir, first wine I ever tasted that made me go, whoa. So you could argue Ken Brown tempted me into wine, cemented my love for wine, taught me about wine while I grew wine for him for 15 years at Club Pepe. And to this day, the weirdest story I can say about Ken Brown is he showed up one time for a night pick looking completely dejected. I was like, what's wrong, Ken? He's like, no, I'm excited about the pick. I just hit a deer on my way over here and wrecked my Volvo. So he's committed. He's committed, and he's amazing. And one person on a panel, I would choose Ken Brown.
And everybody talks about Zach Mesa, and rightfully so. And Jim Clendenin and Bob Lindquist and Adam Tolmack, and it's like, but Ken was there first. he taught them.
Ken was the dean of the University of Zach Mesa.
Yeah. So I mean, let's all hail and realize.
Let's give Rick Longoria his due. He is the connection to Andrei Telechev.
Yeah.
And
true.
the only one now that Tony Austin, kind of went the way of Walter White. He was also connected with Andrei Telechev through the Firestone family, but Rick Longoria is the only winemaker that does have, the godfather of California Cabernet, Andrei Telechev, of course, as a connection. And I think if someone had a gun to my head and say, who is the greatest winemaker in Santa Barbara? Come on, tell me. I would say Rick Longoria. I have a hard time. He rides the line between old world and new world, complex and fruity, greater than any other winemaker. I swear, I have incredible and great love. And if you've never tasted in Lompoc at Longoria, that is definitely a huge one. So let's talk about your favorite winery for a picnic. Mine is Beckman, and I mentioned.
You said Beckman.
Yeah. Amazing picnics.
Let me see here. What did I have down here? Let's see. I have it's really nice and it's beautiful, and it's out of the way a little bit too. It's Folded Hills. Folded Hills has a really cool setup out there. I've been known to go to Peak Ranch on Santa Rosa Road, hang out with Perry and bring some food and kind of just chill for a little bit. I mentioned Babcock. Babcock always has like cool food offerings there. And we've done the same at Millville as well. It's pretty spread out there. Sit on a picnic table and just let the girls run around and go through a tasting and have some snacks. And
I was a little remiss in saying, both on Facebook and on Zoom, if anyone has any additions that they want to throw out there, we would love to hear what you guys have to say too.
Yeah.
Because that's, I mean, we're just two people that have spent most of our lives in Santa Barbara County wine, but we know we got a lot of fans out there. We got a lot of people that have other experiences that they'd like to share. Please do chime in, because as people look at these on various platforms, obviously we want to know industrial eats. John Fitzpatrick, yes. Industrial eats probably, you know,
we had a question above where it's talking about like the best bang for the buck, and I was going to say industrial eats, because it's like, where else can you get? I mean, to me, it's like Michelin mention kind of like level, just
no, it's
unreal
Michelin,
food.
it's Michelin star in a sort of communal eating environment. It's basically stand in line, take an order, and then sit back, and in about 25 minutes, you'll get some stuff. They don't have a stove. It's all in an 800-degree pizza oven. So if you order a goose, which once in a while you can, about 45 minutes later, you get your goose out of an 800-degree oven. It takes a long time to rest. So wonderful. And we're hearing Nella Kitchen for their burger. Jocko's too far north? No, the best steak in the world for the money. Jocko's Steakhouse in Napomo, California. Get off at Teft, go north towards the mountains, and look for the line of old people at 4:30 in the afternoon. Old people and cops know where to eat. Always follow a cop to a breakfast restaurant. Always follow old people to dinner at 5 o'clock. I'm old, by the way. See the gray? I earned every single one of them. I did have a flat top at the beginning of COVID, I swear.
Whoa.
Okay, so how about a desert island wine from Santa Barbara County to drink the rest of your life? Here's the rule. It can't be anything that I've ever been affiliated with. Not that it would be.
Well, I mean, dude, I think you and I have pretty much lined our palates and have an agreement about, well, Santa Rita Hills specifically. I mean, Pinot's the queen, but Chardonnay,
it's the great. It's the second greatest non-French AVA or wine region for Chardonnay. I'm putting Sonoma County #1. I'm putting Santa Rita Hills #2, and then tied for #3. I'm looking at like Margaret River, Santa Maria Valley, and I think Arroyo Grande and Edna have to be in the conversation, because I think in a world where Chardonnay is a commodity, I think Santa Rita Hills, Edna Valley, Margaret River, Sonoma Coast, Burgundy, Chablis make some of the best wines in the world.
Yeah, I'm a nut. I mean, I'm a freak about Santa Rita Hills Chardonnay. So, I mean, and I'm not picky. I love it all. I mean, just bring it to me. I'll drink it. Yeah, sparkling. Somebody said sparkling, the Blanc. I mean, and then, why not?
We got Any Chardonnay by James Sparks, who's the winemaker, of course, at over there at Liquid Farm. You know, their Chardonnays, I think, are absolutely stylistically, I would say, as close to what I would make, right? I mean, isn't that what art and wine is for? I mean, when you see a great piece of art, to me, the greatest art speaks to me that I could have been an artist. And I think the greatest wine reminds me that if I was a winemaker in charge of that production, if I could have got the wine to that point of quality, I would have been very, very happy with what happens. And I would agree with Denise Lowe, our goddess of wine, that James Sparks makes some of my favorite Chardonnays in the Valley. Rick Longoria, of course, Jim Clendenin, ABC. Of course, you can't visit ABC. You can go taste their wines, but if you can ever
go downtown.
If you can get an invite to have lunch at Au Bon Climat 4 hours later and 2 livers later, and about 23 bottles later, I once looked at the recycling bin in front of Au Bon Climat my first visit. I counted at least $100,000 of wine from 1 week. I mean, unreal, I counted no less than 82 bottles of Grand Cru.
Wow. Holy. Yeah, if you get invited to one of those lunches, you know you've made it. I mean, I kind of back-ended into it one time, and I had to sit there and act as cool as I could and not be like sitting there crying and showing that I was like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Because you just have a line of wine, and it's just like, I can't believe I'm here. The food's amazing. These wines are open, so yeah, it's
Whenever I'm invited, I go to a really high-end cheese shop and I bring like $200 worth of cheese. So when I ask again, they're like, "Oh yeah, Wes brings cheese. Yeah, you can come." All right. So we only got about 6 minutes before the speed round, so I've got a couple questions that we'll go through rather quickly.
Okay.
How about favorite Central Coast brewery? Santa Barbara County preferred, but you can go everywhere you want. I'm going Liquid Gravity and Fig Mountain, but Firestone has to be in the conversation.
Absolutely, I agree with all that. If we're gonna go Santa Barbara, I go to Captain Fatty's over in Goleta and go say hi to the Samsara folks when I'm over there. I'm known to always just buzz, and then it's right across the street from Dune Coffee Roasters, so I'll go grab a bag of Dune beans and go get some Captain Fatty's, and their sour program's great, and their IPAs are super good.
Their Bliss, Bliss NE IPA, their Bliss Hazy was one of the best hazies I've ever had. And then when I found out Jason Osborne was consulting, no big surprise because Jason's a god.
Totally.
Captain Fatty's. I met Fatty, who is a slim, good-looking Santa Barbara dude. I'm like talking to him. I'm like, "Oh, you're a part owner? Are you the captain?" He's like, "No, dude, I'm Fatty." I'm like, "Oh, I know what you do in your fair time." No. I was a fat kid, so I've always gone by Fatty because that was my nickname as a kid. Anyways, pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
We got to get through this. Let me tell you more stories.
Liquid Gravity Central Coast Breweries. Yeah, totally
rocking. I'm just gonna, even though it's in Salinas, Alvarado Street, maybe making the best wines in the United States right now.
Totally. Category South.
I know you love the Moonraker. Best tap room. How about best tap room for beer, fun, and food?
Okay. Well, the food is a little out. I mean, they do have it sometimes, but we're in backroom country here, bro. I mean, backroom always has something super interesting on tap. But I mean, I said Fatty's again because it's just like, I love this. Now, I mean, if we can just get the COVID numbers down and things can open up a lot more, I can go sit at Captain Fatty's forever. I love it there. So that's one.
And of course, what you just said reminded me at the very beginning, I was supposed to say, "Hey, we're opening up June 15th." So the entire purpose of the show is to give you guys 130 things to do in Santa Barbara County when we reopen. All right, to finish up, how about one amazing non-wine related day trip for a couple or friends with no kids and one that rocks with a car full of grommets?
Oh my God. Okay, so you're gonna have to speak to the one half, because dude, I don't remember what it's like to be single and not have kids. And I mean, long walks on the beach.
We like to go to like Big Sur, have lunch at Nepente,
right?
Maybe see some elephant seals, but the kids love the elephant seals up there too.
Yeah, the beaches here, we're all about going just to do walks on the beaches because they're just so different from everything in San Diego. I grew up. I mean, Palama is like the obligatory, but I mean the surf beach is open in Lompoc now, and it's super cool to go walk on that now too. But we go to Oso Flaco a lot.
Beautiful beach. By the way, it's
striking,
also
dramatic.
For my wife is disabled; she's in a wheelchair, and you can get almost all the way on a boardwalk that is suspended over the water. Good fishing, good photography, also amazing bird watching. Oso Flaco, spot on, beautiful. Also, the Bob Jones Trail to Avila Beach. It's a 5-mile bike path. Again, handicap accessible, great for wheelchairs. Really important.
And I have a 5-year-old, so we have little legs. We go to Lake Los Carneros, which is in Goleta, right next to Captain Fatty's and everything. So you can see how my mind works. You know, you kind of go to a place where I can kind of get the beer, the wine, and the coffee, and then go for a walk at the same time, uppers, downers, everything. And then
are you suggesting fatherhood's easier at about 0.04 blood alcohol level?
I
won't make you answer that question.
No, well, I'm always in a haze. So
two other things that I'll say is play golf at La Purisima, because it's one of the greatest golf courses on the Central Coast. But
I still haven't done it. I got it. I'm not good enough. I need to get.
Zacca Creek was great if you don't play very well. If you want a vacation course, the river course at Allison in Solvang is a wonderful track if you don't want to be hurt and challenged like at Purisma. But if you think you're a good golfer, play La Purisma, and then we'll have a conversation. I'm hiking Gaviota Peak, which goes right by the hot springs. So, you know, you might see some naked hippies, and I always say free naked is never good naked. You never really want to see people who are naked on purpose for free, but maybe that's saying a little too much about myself. Any other advice, anyone coming to visit Santa Barbara County wine country? My suggestions would make appointments to taste whenever possible. Join wine clubs, because it's going to give you tons of opportunities to do stuff that's not available to the general public. Break up time between Santa Barbara proper, which you want to do, and then you want to go over the hill into Santa Barbara, or excuse me, Santa Ynez Valley and Lompoc. Santa Maria Valley is an untouched gem. So if you're coming up, always send me an email or a message on social media. And then don't try to do too much. Don't try to do 8 tasting rooms in a day. Do 3 or 4, have a 2-hour lunch, have a 4-hour dinner, and have a 2-hour nap.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Technically, appointments are guidelines right now. So just keep in mind, now people are being very flexible about that. You know, as long as you call ahead or you come in a little early and you're patient, it shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I did the same thing as you. Don't overdo it. I mean, a rookie mistake is to do 8 tasting rooms. Do 2 or 3. Do one that maybe you could possibly bring like some snacks and a picnic to, like we mentioned to previous, and just let that ride through the first one. Everything, we're spread out, but it's like 25 minutes at the most from different places. But literally, take the time, go slow. Hopefully you can come see us over numerous weekends and down the line. We're always here. You got Wes and I that can help you out and get you. I always like to go the 101, go through the tunnel and go through Lompoc and go along that beautiful way. If you want to do the crazy, you know, old school sideways right to Santa Rosa Road, or just go right to the 246. And if you really want to see some crazy striking stuff, turn right at Sweeney Road, go back there, go see Domaine de la Côte and all that stuff back there, because you'll never see any landscape like that anywhere. It's like you're on the moon, literally.
I would probably also add, maybe it would make sense, go 1 AVA at a time. So, go explore Santa Rita Hills 1 trip, then go explore Santa Maria Valley in 1 trip, go explore Valerie Canyon for 1 trip. And there's plenty of wines to taste from all the places. And then you can also go to an area that has sort of an aggregate, sort of like Los Olivos. And Los Olivos is definitely, if you're with someone who wants to shop a little and do a little of stuff besides wine, I think Los Olivos is a good call. Tell us about resources, social media, website for Vintners, and how to get in touch with you.
No problem. So I redid I turned myself into a web developer over the pandemic, and I redid the sbcountywines.com. SB like Santa Barbara, sbcountywines.com. And right there on the homepage, you scroll down and there's the 9 tasting routes. So it's all laid out there for you. All the wineries that are right next to each other, all striking, beautiful stuff. Instagram, it's Santa Barbara Wine Country, all together, all lowercase. Facebook, Santa Barbara Wine Country, spread out. But then if you want, email me, Phil, PHIL, at like the website, sbcountywines.com. It's my absolute joy to help people find their way around this world-class wine region. So that's the best part of my job. Otherwise, I'm looking at spreadsheets and looking at analytics and looking at WordPress. So please interrupt me.
Even though that you're the director of member services and you're taking care of all the members there at Vintners, you probably spend almost as much time playing Julie McCoy, cruise director, and I enjoy that too. You'd be surprised. Just send me an email at whagen@jwilkes.com, JWILKES.com. If you're coming to the Valley, I'm happy to make some appointments to you that might not be available.
You did it for me. You did it for me and you didn't even know me. Hit up Larry Schaefer at Tercera Wine. He'll do it for you too.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Are you ready for the speed round, sir?
Oh my God, you're going to kill me. I've been sweating this all day. Okay.
It's so much fun. It'll be over before you even know it. And I'll even,
oh my God.
I'm not going to put up, I normally put up the speed round. You like that?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh no, but
The
I'm putting up this
anxiety
one.
is just.
This,
Oh, there we
this
go.
was-
Oh, it's a press
This
conference.
was sent to me. This is the official Zoom background for Lakers Zooms.
I know. Dude, I switched to AT&T TV just so I could watch Lakers Dodgers 24/7. So okay.
Okay, so the current record is 9 points, held simultaneously by Karen McNeil, as well as, who did I just have on that tied it? I think it was Robin Garr, the first Pulitzer Prize winner that I've actually. He started a wine bulletin board in 1991 or 1980.
Oh my God, dude.
So I've got a video from 2 weeks ago of him basically breaking down the entire history of the wine internet. And no one will probably care for 100 years, but someone will find that in the future and say, sweet. Okay,
Yeah.
not much speed here. Let's get to it. All right, 2 points. How many NBA championships? We're starting with the Lakers. How many NBA championships is the most any team has won? Moving cities is fine. And for a second point, which two teams have accomplished this feat?
Well, it's the Lakers and the Celtics.
Yes.
Tied at 17.
Yes. 2 points. He's 100%. Karen McNeil is shaking in her beautiful redheaded boots right now.
We're going to
2
win
points.
this year and take the number 1.
2
And I don't
points.
wanna hear
It always starts easy. What Laker player has the NBA record for 118 50-plus point games, which many believe will never be broken? That's the first point.
Well, common knowledge would say Wilt.
That's right. Wilt still Chamberlain.
Yeah.
They had to change the rule that you can't slam dunk from the free throw line.
Please stop. Yeah.
That's one. The other one is, what record did the 71-72 Lakers win that will likely never be broken either?
Isn't that the longest winning streak?
That's correct. I'll give you an extra one if you can tell me either how many games or how many days.
Oh my God. Isn't it like 56?
So it was 33 games and 65 days. I would
Sorry.
That's as esoteric as it gets. All right, 2 points. You're 4 for 4. See how easy this is? In 2012 and 2013, an NBA player managed to get a record 39 free throws in 2 separate games. In 2012, it was for the Orlando Magic. In 2013, it was for the Lakers. Who has this record? 5 points extra if you can tell me how many he made in each game.
Oh, it's got to be Dwight Howard.
Yes. That's
the guy.
By the way, all my Lakers friends could not get that. It was the 5th answer. So well done.
Really?
I took this last night. I don't want to say I'm a geek, but I was playing Dungeons and Dragons last night online.
Yeah.
And I asked 4 of my biggest Laker fans all these questions, and none of them got that one.
Wow. Well, the Orlando thing gives it away. I mean, we traded.
Yeah, a little bit. Any idea?
Yeah.
You want to guess out of 39, how many he made in 12 and how many he made in 13?
He's like a 50 or 60% shooter, maybe even less. I'll say 15.
And then the next night or the next year?
18.
No, it was 21 and 25. So he shot pretty well. You're
better
6
than I
for
thought.
6. Dude, I'm kind of worried about the record here, brother. I won't tell Karen if you beat her because she wrote the word Bible. She's a
we're talking club stuff here, okay? We're talking sports.
No, that's fine. All right. LA Laker, 1 point. An LA Laker, his career spanned from 1985 to 2001, not all with the Lakers. Played in a nearly unbreakable record, probably will never be broken, of 1,192 consecutive games in his NBA career. Who was it?
AC Green?
Yes, it was. Second point, what was unusual about AC Green's private life as he reported himself?
He was a virgin.
He was. And I'm wondering if either AD or LeBron maybe should give up sex so they just play every game of their career uninjured. Dude, you're killing it. All right, Dodgers time.
Oh, God.
Here we go. Why did Brooklyn folks identify as Dodgers?
They were trolley Dodgers. They
Yes.
dodged the trolleys.
Gosh, that's a point. All right. Which Dodger was the youngest player ever elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Oh, wow. God, that's a good one, man. Recent or old?
This is every player in the history. A Dodger was the youngest player ever in the history of Major League Baseball to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was a Dodger. And what's his name? To make sure you understand.
Oh, my God. I'm going to be way off here. Pee Wee Reese.
That was a really good guess because that actually, when I was doing the trivia, that was my guess first. The answer is Sandy Koufax.
God, oh, I should have known.
You can get an extra point by either telling me what year did he retire or what year was he inducted. You can guess on both.
No, I'm not going to because I'll just show how terrible I am. I'm bad with geography.
Dude, you're about
dates,
to beat the record.
I don't. Yeah.
He was 30 when he retired, and he was 36 when he was inducted.
I knew it was super young.
Which Dodger was the first African American to play Major League Baseball in the modern era?
Well, it would. Everybody says Jackie Robinson, but yeah.
That's correct.
Roy Campanella was right there too, though.
But according to the trivia site, you are correct.
Okay, cool. I thought maybe you were tricking me that like maybe Roy Campanella.
You gotta get both of these, which should be okay. Who did the Dodgers defeat to win their first World Series?
The Yankees.
Damn, dude, you're on Fuego. That is correct. I have to offer a second point. You've already tied. I think you might have even gone above. But do you know when? What year?
Oh God. 36.
55.
50. All right. It was more. Okay. See,
Okay.
I'm a homer, so I'm going like way out. You know.
You're looking good. Which
People aren't gonna hurt
Dodgers?
me
This
for
is a
that.
tough one. I think I usually end with the toughest question. Which Dodgers pitcher went straight to the major leagues, pitching his first game against the Florida Marlins in 1994? No college experience at all.
Oh my God, I know
Dodgers
this.
pitcher went straight to the major leagues from high school, pitching his first game against the Florida Marlins in 1994.
Oh my God, I know this. Oh God, I'm gonna kill myself when you say it. Oh God, go ahead, say it because I know we're pressed for time.
You're not going to get the point, but if his initials are DD.
Oh God, dude, go on, just say it.
Darren Dreifert.
Darren Dreifert. Oh my God, yeah.
I'm not a huge baseball fan. I did see the Dodgers a lot when I was growing up, but I did not know that.
Oh my.
All right,
how did I miss
the
that?
last couple questions.
Oh my
We have
God.
four questions left, all 1 point, all on Seinfeld. You ready?
Oh Jesus. Okay.
All right. I've never watched Seinfeld, so I have to do.
I was gonna say this is really, this isn't cool that somebody who's never watched this show is quizzing me because you're gonna throw some weird stuff at me.
Yep. Okay. What's the first and last thing the group of friends discussed during the pilot and finale episodes?
Buttons.
That is correct. 1 point. And you are now the all-time champion of like 7 months of Punchdown interviews. 1 point. This is all now it's just, dude, you're like 10 points. I did start adding more points later on, but still, well done.
That's okay.
Who died from licking envelopes?
Oh, that was George's fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me your name. That was the answer on the trivia site. You are correct. Which Entourage star once guest starred on Seinfeld?
Piven.
That's correct. Jeremy Piven, also a Laker fan.
And he was almost cast as George Costanza.
Really? That would have been a horrible. I don't think that would have been a good.
It would have been terrible, but they almost picked him over Jason Alexander.
One of my greatest Laker game experiences at a Laker game, I got to meet I got to see and wave to Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Jeremy.
He's always there.
And Piven had worse seats. And Piven had worse seats than I did. But Jessica Alba was 3 seats behind me, and she went down to talk to Flea, and she was wearing yoga pants. This is when she was still in Dark Angel. I've talked to my wife about this, but I was excited. I was very excited to see Flea.
Yeah.
Last question, and so you're already 3 points over the record.
Wow.
I really didn't try to be easy with you. This is a tough question though. How many episodes are there of Seinfeld?
I know they did 9 seasons. So 9 times 20. Oh my God.
I know you're not looking at
200.
Googling because
No, I'm
you're
not. I'm looking.
You're accessing the
I'm trying to do
potential part of
math,
your brain by looking to your left.
I'm trying to do math, but I stopped spitting in my spit cup a while ago. So I'm like
It's just
220.
Pinot Blanc. We drink Pinot Blanc
Yeah.
to sober up, my friend.
Yeah, I know. 220.
Close. It was 180.
Oh, 180.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. Congratulations, sir. You are now the current world record holder. Dude, and you were worried? Are you kidding me?
I was totally worried, man.
Well,
Now, granted, look at the subjects we're talking about here. We're not talking, world literature.
I did not throw you a lot of softballs. There was some good questions there that stumped even my friends that have like Laker podcasts. So, first of all,
not knowing Darren Drysdale is going to piss me off. I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m.
I was going to say, show me your double Ds. Would that have worked?
No, I just totally blew it. Anyways, go on.
No worries, but I just want to thank you. Thanks to Allison for doing such a great job at Vintners.
Yeah.
Thanks for all of you for hanging out with us for the entire time. We actually gained people who were watching. Sometimes I watch to see how many people are coming and going. See, Denise Lowe said we were a lot of fun, and John Fitzpatrick knew that AC Green was a virgin. So that's awesome. And Michael said that, damn, you're on a streak. So congratulations. You do. I already gave you a beer and a bottle of wine because I knew you were going to at least win the speed round. But congratulations, you have won a selection of beer. I have received permission to use my J Wilkes and/or Miller family credit card to purchase some beer in my travels to make sure you end up with some deliciousness. I owe you a nice little selection of beer for being a rock star. Thank you to Phil Carpenter. I hope you guys all learned something about where to go and what to do in one of the greatest semi-heralded wine regions in the world. Every year we'll have another 20 sommeliers here. We'll all drink Fernet Branca asking, when will we be as cool as Napa Sonoma? And hopefully it will be never. So thanks again. Really appreciate it. And Phil, thanks again. Say hello to Rachel. Give the kids a hug for me.
I love you, brother. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
I think we've come absolutely full circle now from our first meeting to now being experts on Santa Barbara wine country.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you for everything. I really appreciate it. And this was amazing fun. So.
I think I hear DoorDash coming with my Chef Rick's delivery. So and they didn't pay me to say that, but they should. Hello. Oh my gosh, you look so much like your mother.
Yeah,
I almost said thank goodness, but no, you're a handsome man, but you're a lucky man.
Right.
Have a fantastic night. It was good seeing you.
Bye.
Bye. All the kids know how Zoom works now.